If you take, just to soften through the lower back, while we're just doing a little bit of breath work, take the feet slightly wider than the hips, so that as you lie back, the knees can roll in towards each other, just supporting each other, which should feel quite comfortable. Maybe place the hands on the belly. Take a big breath in and exhale. I'm going to do another big breath, just exhale, big sigh out. So breathe in, feel the torso expand, and then as you exhale, we're now going to start to engage with our yogi breath. So we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So just breathing in and exhale. So just gradually connecting with the breath. And as you do, you may find that you breathe a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. So by breathing in and out through the nose, we give the body more opportunity to absorb oxygen, stimulates the production of nitric oxide within the body. We have a slightly longer, slower breath. We're increasing the abdominal pressure in the belly. So we're bringing the abdomen into play to support the breath. So you may notice as you're breathing that your body lifts on an inhale and then softens back into the mat on an exhale. As you're breathing, think about your breath count. Let's try to inhale for a count of 4 or 5. And then exhale for a nice long breath count. And just let the breath do its work. So taking 3 more nice long slow breaths, and maybe try to get each breath cycle from the beginning of the inhale to the end of the exhale. Lasts for about 10 seconds. And then gently release the knees from each other. Walk the feet in so the feet are in line with the hips. And we're just going to gently drop the knees from one side. Don't force it, just go with the natural flow of the hips, dropping the knees from one side to the other, just breathing through. And then bringing the knees back to center. We're going to sweep the arms above us, tilt the pubic bone away. And then as you exhale, softening the hands down by the mat. We're going to repeat a few times. So inhaling, lifting and lengthening. And exhale, softening back into the mat. Again, inhale. And exhale. With your palms pressing into the mat, gently lift the hips. Engage those glutes, stretching out the hip flexors. Take a couple of breaths. And then easing yourself back down onto the mat. We're going to place the right ankle over the left knee, just like the knee open. And then you're going to drop the knee from side to side. So big deep stretch through the lower back, getting right into the psoas. Over we go. If it feels particularly tight, then you're doing the right thing. It's a good stretch for you. Coming back to center. Scoop the hands around the left thigh, guide the left thigh towards you, and then a little gentle pressure, right elbow, right thigh. Try flexing the feet, see how that feels. Does it get a little bit deeper? And release. Place both feet back on the mat. And then one more time, we're going to lift those hips, stretching through the front of the body. And easing yourself back down onto the mat. Place left ankle over the right knee. Just let that left knee open. And then again, gently rocking the knees from side to side. And there's always one side feels slightly less challenging than the other, depending on your daily movements. None of us are symmetrical. And coming back to center. We're going to scoop the hands around the right thigh, guide it towards you. You squeeze that thigh into the body, and then maybe try flexing both feet. See how that feels. We're going to place both feet back on the mat. Just one more time, drop the knees from side to side. You might notice you've got a little bit more movement now as we've just begun to wake the body up. Really nice. We're going to bring both knees to the chest. You're going to give them a hug. And cross the ankles. Now try to bring the hands to the feet without lifting the head and shoulders off the mat. So use the lower abdominals to tilt the tail upwards. Hands to the feet, squeezing the feet down to the back of the thighs. Maybe give those feet a little bit of self-care. And we're going to make our way up to seated. So if you can, ease the tail off the mat, a little bit of momentum, and up you come. Okay, we're just going to have a few stretches. I'm just get rid of my hair, just clip it back. So come to sit in Tadasana, cross-legged, however is comfortable for you. Just lift those shoulders up, back and down. We're going to stretch the arms up. And easing the hands down into your heart center one more time. Nice big stretch up, stretching right into the fingertips. And easing back down. Plant the right hand, just gently easing over with the left arm. Maybe a little bit of pulsing. Let's get into the ribs, those intercostal muscles. Coming back up to center and opposite side. Take a couple of breaths. And easing yourself back round. I'm just going to have a little twist. So left hand, right knee. Ease the body around to the side. Nice big breath into the side of the body. And release. Opposite side. Big breath in. Feel as though you're moving, lifting the breastbone round to the side. And coming back to center. Let's just give those legs a little stretch out. Point the toes away and bring them back up. And point the toes away and back up. We're going to reach up nice and high, easing yourself forwards. Hands come wherever they come. Don't worry about finding your feet at this stage. Breathe in, lift the breastbone and see if you can fold that a little bit deeper, just stretching through the lower back. And then walking the hands back up. We're going to come over onto all fours and into child's pose. So hands under the shoulders, take the big toes together, knees apart, easing yourself back into child's pose. I'm going to take a nice big breath into the back ribs, feeling the body lift. And then as you exhale, softening down to the mat. And again, big breath in. And exhale, soften down. Walking the hands back, we're going to draw ourselves up into box position. Tuck the toes under. A few little cat-cow stretches just to loosen through the spine. So nice big inhale, lift the head and the tail, really press through the hands into the mat. Hands into the mat. And as you exhale, scoop the hips forward, eyes to the knees. Inhale. And exhale. And inhaling again. And exhale, eyes to the knees, really pressing up into the shoulders, curving through the spine. And coming back to neutral. We're going to come into downward dog. So easing yourself up, gently pedaling through. Always remember the first downward dog of the day, always the hardest. But just gentle pedal through, in line with your breath. So nice big deep breaths. Come onto the balls of the feet, send the weight into the hands and step back into plank, holding in plank. And we're going to lower back onto the knees into box, extending the right leg back behind you, press into the ball of the foot. Gently easing backwards and forwards. We're going to float the right ankle, foot, extending the left arm. Nice big inhale, draw the knee to the elbow and release, engaging through the core. Knee to elbow and release. One more time. And release, holding. Place the left hand on the mat. You're going to draw the right knee to the nose. Place the right foot between the hands. If you have to help it along with your hand, don't worry. Inhale, up we come, low lunge. Inhaling again, lifting, exhale, releasing forward. Coming back up. We're going to frame the right foot, stepping yourself back into box and from box up into downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths in your downward dog. And then coming onto the knees, we're back into box. Extend the left foot back behind you, pressing into the ball of the foot, maybe easing the weight backwards and forwards. Now we're going to float the left heel, engage through the core, extend the right arm. Draw the knee to the elbow, rounding up and extending out. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Place the right hand on the mat. We're going to bring that left foot forward between the hands, easing the arms up and coming into your low lunge. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Bring the hands down. You're going to frame the left foot, stepping back into box position. Take a breath. We're going to come back up into downward dog. You're going to tuck your toes under, easing into your downward dog. We're going to take this up a bit. Float the right leg into a three-legged downward dog. Bring the foot to the buttock, open the knee to the side of the room. Extend the right leg. Draw the right knee to the nose. Plant the right foot between the hands. Easing up. High lunge. Hold. Bringing your hands down. Frame the right foot. Stepping back into plank. And we're going to lower down onto the mat and easing up into cobra. Hold in your cobra, keep those arms against the sides of the body. And lowering back down, press through the hands into box, tucking the toes under and into your downward dog. Take a breath in downward dog. Float the left leg into a three-legged downward dog. Bring the foot to the buttock, over the knee to the side of the room. Extend the foot to the ceiling. We're going to draw the left knee to the nose, plant the left foot between the hands, easing up, high lunge. Take a breath. And then bringing the hands down, frame the left foot, stepping back into your plank. Easing down onto the mat, hands under the shoulders, coming up into your cobra, holding in cobra. And lowering back down. Press through the hands into box, tucking the toes under, back into downward dog. Let's take a couple of breaths together in downward dog. And then looking to the front of the mat, walk the feet to the hands at the front of the mat to come into your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. So maybe have a little soft bend in the knees, feel that stretch through the glutes, let the head hang. And then when you're ready, soften the knees and we're slowly going to roll up to standing, stretching up, drawing the hands down into heart center. Take a couple of breaths. Okay, so that's our warm up. We're going to have a few rounds of sun salutations now. Grab a drink if you need one. And then into a bit of a flow. So just go with it. Anything that you're struggling with, miss out, catch up when you can. There's always the option to come into downward dog or child's pose. Yeah. The main thing is enjoy it. We are heading towards the summer solstice. Energy levels are a little bit higher. So here we go. Standing at the front of your mat, feet hip width apart, lift those shoulders up and back, easing the arms up. Let's take a little back bend, sending the hips forward, arms behind. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, hands to the shins, the knees, wherever you need to be. And we're going to drop the sit bones into a deep squat and then use those glutes to come up, hands to come down. One more time. Inhale. Take a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, dropping down into a squat. Use those glutes to come up. Hands into heart center. We're going to a full vinyasa. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, stepping back on the right leg, lowering onto the right knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the toes to the back, stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto your mat, hands under the shoulders, lift the shoulders up and back into cobra. Lowering back down, press through the hands into box, tuck the toes under, and coming back into your downward dog. Take a breath. Looking forward to the front of the mat, step the left foot forward and then the right. Soft knees, halfway lift, dropping into your squat. Use the glutes to push up. Hands down into heart center. Inhaling nice and high. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands on the mat, stepping back onto the left leg. Lower the left knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the toes at the back. Stepping back into your plank, holding in plank nice and strong. Lowering down onto the mat. Hands under shoulders, coming into cobra. Lowering back down, we're going to press through the hands into box. Tuck the toes under and into your downward dog. Take a breath. And then looking forward to the front of the mat, stepping the right foot, then the left to the front of the mat. Soft knees, halfway lift, lowering the sit bones, easing all the way up. Hands down into your heart center. Inhaling nice and high, let's have a little back bend in. Forward fold, halfway lift. This time you're going to step back onto the ball of the right foot. We're going to ease the arms up, high lunge, always the option to come into low lunge. Frame the front foot, stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto the mat. Hands under shoulders, coming into cobra. Lowering back down, press through the hands into box. Tucking the toes under and releasing back into your downward dog. Take a breath. Float the left leg into a three-legged downward dog. Bring the left knee to the nose, plant the left foot between the hands. We're going to align the right hand with the left foot. We're going to ease that left arm up, turning to the side. Always an option, goes whatever works for you. Bring the left hand down, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Soft knees, halfway lift. Lowering your sit bones, easing all the way up. Hands down into heart center, or the opposite side to do. Inhale, take a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands on the mat, you're going to step back onto the ball of the left foot. You can lower the knee or come up into a high lunge. Frame front foot, stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto the mat. Hands are under the shoulders. Lift the shoulders up and back, coming into your cobra. Lowering back down, press through the hands into box, tucking the toes under and coming into your downward dog. Take a breath. We're going to float the right leg in a three-legged downward dog. Right knee to nose, place right foot between the hands. Align the left hand with the right foot and sweep that right arm up, turning the body to the side. Try and hug the knee in towards the center line. Draw the right hand down, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Soft knees, halfway lift, lowering your sit bones, easing all the way up. Hands down into heart center. Oh, we've got two more in us. Inhaling nice and high. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Stepping back onto the ball of the right foot. Inhaling into high lunge. Exhale, frame the left foot. Stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto your mat.
Hands under shoulders, lifting the shoulders up and back, coming into cobra. Lowering back down. Press through the hands into box, tuck the toes under, coming up into your downward dog. Taking a breath in downward dog. Float the left leg in a three-legged downward dog, drawing the left foot forward between the hands. Lifting that left arm, turn to the side. Draw the left hand back down, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Soft knees, halfway lift, lowering the sit bones, easing all the way up. Hands down into your heart center. One more time. Inhaling. Take a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat, stepping back onto the ball of the left foot. Inhaling. High lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, stepping back into plank. For those who want a little chaturanga, we'll bring in chaturanga, otherwise take yourself into cobra. Chaturanga, roll forwards onto the balls of the feet, coming into your chaturanga arms, so pulling forward and up, flipping over the feet, upward facing dog. Not for everyone, so don't worry. Turning over the feet, coming back into downward dog. Take a breath in downward dog. Lifting that left leg high. Oh, wrong one. Lifting the right leg high in a three-legged downward dog. Right foot between the hands. Lift the right arm, turn to the side. And then frame your right foot, stepping forwards to the front of the mat. Soft knees, halfway lift. Lowering the sit bones and easing all the way up. Hands to heart center. So that was 6 sun salutations. A reminder, if you're at the solstice, you'll be doing 108. So it's a challenge. Okay, a little bit of a flow. Hands to heart center. Step back onto the ball of the left foot. We're going to windmill the left arm over and we are into our warrior two. Easing forward, Parshvakonasana. Reverse your warrior. Over you go. Coming back into warrior two. Lengthen through the right leg. Remember, send that left hip back, reaching forward. Trikonasana. Breathe in your Trikonasana. Nice long lines. Well done. Inhale, up we come. Warrior two. And we're going to go for a pivot. So you're going to come onto the ball of the left foot. Left arm comes over. Right arm goes up. We've taken that twist. And then framing the right foot, stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto your mat. Coming into cobra. Always the option for chaturanga if that is in your practice. Lowering back down. We're going to press through the hands into box. Tuck the toes under. And back into your downward dog. This is our dancing warrior sequence, so it's a little bit faster. Ooh, got birds fighting in the garden. Lift the left leg into a three-legged downward dog. Left foot forward between the hands. Easing up. High lunge. Windmill the right arm behind you. Apologies, I've got my back to you. Warrior two. Reaching forward. Parshvakonasana. Coming back, reverse your warrior. Back into warrior two, Trikonasana. Send the right hip back, lengthen through the left leg, reaching forwards and into Trikonasana. Coming back up, warrior two. We're going to go for the pivot onto the ball of the right foot. Right hand comes over onto the mat. Lift that left arm. Frame the left foot, stepping back into plank, lowering down onto the mat, hands under shoulders into cobra. Lowering back down, we're going to press through the hands into box, tuck the toes under, and releasing back into your downward dog. Well done. I'm going to do that one more time, either side, dancing warrior. So lift the right leg high in a three-legged downward dog. Right knee to nose. Place the foot between the hands, coming up into a high lunge. We're milling the left arm over. Warrior gets the heartbeat up, doesn't it? Warrior two, reaching forward. Parshvakonasana. Let those hips come forward and down. Reverse your warrior. Over we go. Back into warrior two. Take that left hip back, lengthen through the right leg, reaching forward. Trikonasana. Easing yourself back up. Warrior two. Here we go. Ball of the left foot, left arm comes over. Hand to the mat, right arm lifts. Frame the right foot, stepping back into plank. Lowering down onto the mat. Hands under the shoulders, coming into cobra. Lowering back down. You're going to press through the hands into box. Tuck those toes under. Back into downward dog. Last time, opposite side. Float the left leg in a three-legged downward dog. Left knee to nose, plant the left foot between the hands, easing up, high lunge. Windmill the right arm behind you, warrior two. Reaching forward, Parshvakonasana. Lower the right hand, flip the left palm over, reverse your warrior. Coming back into warrior two. Now send that right hip back, lengthen through the left leg, reaching forward, Trikonasana. Coming back up, warrior two. We're going to pivot onto the ball of the right foot, right hand comes over, left arm lifts, turn to the side. You're going to frame the left foot, you're going to step back into plank, come onto the knees, and we're going to come into child's pose. Knees together if that's comfortable. Sending the sit bones back, release the head to the mat. Hands behind you, take a couple of breaths in your child's pose. And then you're going to ease the hands forward, bringing yourself up. We're going to tuck the toes under. Allow yourself to ease back onto the balls of the feet, dropping the heels and coming up to standing, reaching up. Hands to your heart center. I'm going to come to face you. We are going to come into a standing balance, our tree pose. Nice meditative pose. So grounding down through the right leg. I want you to float the left knee. Squeeze that right glute and then place the foot wherever works for you. Hands to heart center. Keep that right glute squeezed, which will engage your transverse abdominis. And we're going to take a few breaths here. Just follow the breath. Hands to heart center, or if you're feeling a little bit more. Actually, I like my Kali Mudra, so I bring my hands into a steeple. I think you might have missed that on the screen, but they're in a steeple. And we are holding. So all in the glute. And then just soften those hands down, float the left leg, and lower, just gently pedaling through. I mean, fantastic for strengthening the ankles. It's just a really great thing pose to be in, but it's all about the glute. So grounding down through the left. We're going to float the right knee, squeeze that left glute. I know I keep saying it, but I can't say it enough. And then bring the foot. Doesn't matter whether that foot's against the ankle, the knee, the inner thigh. All I want you to do is ease that left glute in, hands to heart center, feel nice and strong and connected, and then follow your breath. Don't look at the screen. If it's in front of you, look away from it, because if I should wobble, you'll probably wobble, and I can't guarantee. And we're going to draw the hands down, float that right knee, and coming back to standing. We're going to work our way down to the mat, coming into our malasana. So taking the feet a little bit wider than the hips so we create space. Move however feels right for you. We're going to come onto the balls of the feet. You're going to bring the palms together and we're going to drop down. Nice straight spine if you can. Lower the heels if that's comfortable. You want to almost feel as though you're pulling your pelvis through your legs. So rather than being here, try to have that nice straight back. Easing the arms against the thighs or knees, press the knees back. It is a wonderful stretch for the hips, for the groin. And as we talked about last week, the pelvis is your engine. It's your powerhouse. Rather than thinking of the body top down or bottom up, always focus on the pelvis. Everything comes through the pelvis, whether it's your spine going up, your legs going down. So that's when you're practicing, that's where I want your focus to be. And we will always do lots of stretches for that area. So take a few more breaths here. You can't expect to have a flexible spine if you've got a stiff hip, stiff pelvis. So dropping down onto your bottom. And there is always the option, sorry, I should have said with Malasana that you could have come into Baddha Konasana. I must remember to remind you. Anyway, bringing the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to open, hands to the feet. We're going to take a nice big inhale. We're going to drop forwards. Let's bring the arms to the outside, the shins now if you can. Or you could place the elbows on the calves to get a little bit more pressure down. If you're hypermobile, which some people are, my advice to you to strengthen the joint is press upwards into the elbows. So rather than going with something that is naturally so easy for you, you probably don't feel anything. Go the opposite way. So press the legs into the elbows and you'll start to strengthen the joint. And we're going to inhale, extend the legs out along your mat, feet lifted. You might want to place your hands by your side, gently lift the hips up, tilt the tailbone backwards so you're sat slightly ahead of the pelvis, reaching up and folding forwards. And remember, it is not about touching your feet. What we're looking to do is hinge at the hips, bring the belly, the chest, the head down towards the legs, and the arms will follow. Take a few nice big breaths into the back ribs, and then as you exhale, see if there's any more softness. Try having a slight bend in the knees. Does that help you fold forward a little bit more? Do you get more of a stretch through the lumbar spine? Listen to your body and work with your body. The wonderful thing about being online is you don't get distracted by what anybody else is doing. And then drawing yourself back up. Well done. We're going to bring the right foot up towards the body. Pop the right foot over the left leg. Wrap that left arm around, turning to the side. Take a breath. And release. Let's extend the right leg. Drawing the left leg up. Really try and bring that heel right into the body. Pop the leg over. Right arm around. Hug the thigh towards your chest. And then easing yourself around. Remember, we're looking for a spinal twist. It's not about twisting the neck round. Breathe in. And coming back to center. We're going to draw both legs up to come back into cross-legged. Bring the hands to the knees, lift the shoulders up, back and down. Take a couple of breaths, close your eyes if you're comfortable. And then when you're ready, I'm going to ease those arms up, stretching up into fingertips, and then a little bit of softness, maybe allow the head to drop. And one more time, stretching up, drawing the hands down. Namaste. Thank you.